Hello, Sunbeams, and welcome to Sunshine Realms. My name is Sunshine. I am here to do the weekly reading, which just so happens to fall on the 129 portal, this new moon in Aquarius. So let's tap into what Spirit has for us for the first week, the introduction to February, as we walk through this portal where we are releasing what no longer serves us, reclaiming our power, and being invited by Spirit to step into a new alignment. There's so many planets that are speaking right now. It's important for us to pay attention and be open to what our Creator has available for us. So let's tap into the energy. Thank you, Spirit. Let's get an astral code. And I've already pre-shuffled to save time and also so that I'm not shuffling loudly on camera. 12th house, introspection. 12th house is the end of the wheel. The end of the wheel is Pisces. It's a closure, closing out, and finding emotional comfort in the closing of a cycle, the ending of a lunar cycle or a cycle in your life or a period in your life, whatever that means for you. When we're closing cycles, when we're in 12th house energy, it's inviting us to take a look at where we are energetically. Where can we start over? Where can we regroup and reset before we go back to the one? Before we get an opportunity to begin again. I like to look at the 12th house energy as internal, an opportunity for us to look at ourselves, look within ourselves, and that sometimes requires us to look externally if those are the places in which we are most impacted by. Piscean energy is very reclusive. It's not necessarily at the forefront, so it's very deep, almost psychic, internal, quiet, reserved, but it's also a hum. It's a hum that's constant, so it's going to be something that needs to be awakened, needs to be drawn out, and needs to be released. So take a look at what you might be ignoring within yourself. That's the invitation of the 12th house. Let's get a talisman oracle. Creativity. This is really good because with the Piscean energy, the 12th house energy, the introspection, what have you been keeping within yourself? That 12th house is inviting you. This 129 portal is inviting you. This new moon in Aquarius is inviting you. Drop your burdens. Walk into this new paradigm with fresh new eyes. With creativity being here, that means that we're working on something, or there is something that is within us that needs to be born. It needs to come out. It needs to show itself. And it needs to be something that comes from a place of heart, emotion. There's something that we need to put together that's going to allow us to shine forth. There's an opportunity for us to show up in a very sacred space or in a sacred way. We're either redesigning, I get redesigning a space, but not just redesigning, but getting rid of what we don't need so that we can invite in new energy, so that we can invite in an opportunity for us to grow a little bit more. This is like spring cleaning to me, when you take a look at what you have, what you don't need, and when you empty out the vessel of emotion, or you empty out the vessel that's carrying all this creativity, and you get to the meat or the heart of something, and you see something that needs to be opened, or you're creating space for something to come alive so that you can plant new seeds. And so the portal that we're in right now is sort of like that invitation for us to draw out what we've been a little bit reserved about opening, or reserved about inviting more to come in, more. Because when you start over, are you starting over from a space of carrying baggage emotionally, physically, psychologically, spiritually? You can take a look at what you need to let go of, so that when you begin again and when you get back to that one, you feel lighter. So this gives me the impression that there's something that we want to invite in. And it's because we're ready to, we are ready to, or we have already created space for it to come in. And if you haven't done that, you can tap into this opportunity right now. The energy is very ripe for doing that. Write it down, take a look around your environment, take a look around your space, take a look around whoever is around you or whatever is around you, and decide what no longer needs to be there. It's okay, it's okay for us to let something go, because our Creator is waiting to put something there that's gonna grow. Let's get an Untamed Spirit Animal Oracle for the archetype for the week. The medicine that we can draw from for the week. Rabbit. I love that, because the rabbit, it's not just about approval or sensitivity. It can be. And really it's about you approving yourself, saying yes to yourself, and being very sensitive to your emotions, especially with this 12th house Piscean energy here. It's like you are trying your best to bring something forth, but have you made space? Have you made space? It's like you're sitting on something, or you're sitting on something that you might need to step away from, or just allow. You might need to clean up around something so that the seed that you planted can actually come alive with the creativity, so that the seed within you can come alive. It's almost as if you have to till your soil so that the nourishment that's needed for it to grow can be there. You got to turn the soil over, and you have to let things decompose and be purged, and you have to dig up the weeds in order for something beautiful to come in. We have to do that within ourselves. We also have to give ourselves the space. We have to create the space for things to grow within us. And in this energy, it's saying absolutely. Whatever it is that you have put forth that might be just sitting, I have a feeling it's something that you've been sitting on and you haven't nurtured, or you haven't put time into something. You might need to do that. And it has a lot to do with weaving something new, starting again, or starting at square one with something. I get that significantly, starting at square one with something. Let's go ahead. We're going to use the Aquarian deck at the end, but let's get started with the tarot for additional insights. I'm using the Game of Thrones, and if you've been with me since I started my videos, you know that I absolutely love the Game of Thrones tarot deck. It's one of my favorites. It just gives me the energy that I need. Calls my name. 6 of Wands. Well, isn't that lovely? This is victory within yourself. There's something that you're doing that is going to lead you down a path of sanctity and righteousness within yourself. And I say righteousness because It's something that you're called to do. There's something that you are drawn to do. There's something that Spirit needs you to do. Only you can carry it, or only you can create it. Think of yourself as an individual who has the individual power within yourself to do this thing. And if you carry that energy with you, you can move through the emotions of being able to stop sitting on it and move in that direction. That is what Spirit is asking you to do. Five of Cups. This might be the energy that you are moving away from. This could indicate what you're purging. You could be purging self-doubt. You could be purging a past failure of some kind. And I mean failure in the sense that you've tried to do this before and you haven't been able to be successful in doing this. So instead of you looking at your losses, take a look at your victories. Take a look at the incremental changes you made that can be beneficial for you to move towards being victorious in it. Sometimes when we're in this place of introspection, when we're sitting on something that is within us, we might get caught up in our emotions that are not serving us and preventing us from being able to move forward because we're carrying the baggage of sadness or regret or fear that something might not work out. Spirit is inviting you to actually take a look at your emotions in the sense that instead of you hiding them or putting them in the background, because that's very 12th house energy, you've put it to a place where you don't see it anymore. Spirit is saying take a look at it and renew it. Give it new hope, new vitality, and work with the emotions rather than pushing them to the background, because you need to be emotionally stable in order to bring this in. And if you keep pushing your emotions or the self-doubt or just not having the confidence to bring something forward, sit with yourself. That's very important, to sit with yourself and say, these are the things that I need to work on. And instead of allowing it to slow you down, you move forward anyway. You still start at square one. And when you start at square one, that sometimes means that you might not have all the resources, but you do have at least 2 cups you can work with. There might be 3 spilled, but you still have 2 cups you can take with you as you cross over to the other side. The portal is inviting you to cross over to the other side so that you can make some headway, or cross over that bridge so that you can make some headway on something that you've been sitting on for some time. Let's find out what else we have for the medicine. Temperance. Not only have you been sitting on it, you've been reviewing it, you've been thinking about it, you've been, I heard, tinkering with it. Tinkering, meaning you've studied this before, you've looked at it before, you've analyzed it before. Temperance energy is very analytical, but they move very slowly. It's like you've been trying to get all the pieces aligned, all of the information aligned, but it's coming from a place of lack of confidence in bringing something forward. You want to, that's what you really want to do, but you've been sitting on it for so long. I heard it might be rotting, meaning Spirit is going to give this idea or this energy or this frequency to someone else if you don't make a move on it. So with the collective energy, as we are all in, there is something that you personally have been working on for some time that you really want to bring forth, but you just haven't done that. You've been in the background, it's been in a notebook, or it's been somewhere that you haven't actually decided to bring it out. And Spirit is saying, take what you have. Take the resources you have and move forward. That energy came out about 2 or 3 weeks ago in a previous reading that you might want to take a look at, because what happens when we don't make a move, if we don't build the confidence within ourselves to do something, Spirit will take that frequency, take that gift or idea of some kind, and move it to one of the other 8 billion humans on this earth who can actually carry it. So if you've been given an opportunity or something has been put on your heart with this introspection, or something has been put into your lap with this creativity and rabbit energy, it's been sitting right in front of you, and you haven't taken the steps that you need to take to release your self-doubt, your fears, and made a move. You're still studying it, but Spirit is saying you have a victory somewhere. So at some point you need to take what you have and move forward in some type of way. That's sometimes the hardest thing to do, because in this Five of Cups, this is a very remote, internal, within the house sort of space. Many of the other Five of Cups, they're outside, about to walk over a bridge. So there's something that you need to do. Come outside in some type of way, but pick up those cups before you step outside, because whatever it is that you've been learning in the background, this is going to be needed in order for you to have this victory. You might not think so right now, but until you actually make that move, you'll never know. Let's get... Actually, I would like to know one more about what this studying is about with this temperance energy. Does it have to do with earth, air, fire, or water? 10 of Cups, of course, water. This has to do with the heart space. This has to do with your emotions. This has to do how you feel about something. This has to do with community. Either the community you are in, the household you are in, the dynamic that you are in, anything that you've put 10 of Cups into, anything that you've poured into. For some reason, you are not confident that you can bring something to fruition, because Spirit is saying you have everything you need, but this little bit of self-doubt is wreaking havoc in your life, and it's really chipping away at your happiness in some kind of way. The collective is being asked to walk through a portal with the resources that they have and take stock of their emotions. You need to purge self-doubt for sure. You need to write that down. You need to ask Spirit for help. Ask Spirit how you're going to transmute that energy. Ask Spirit to help you plant new seeds, and ask Spirit how you're going to walk through this portal with confidence, so that this gift that they've given you doesn't go wasted, or doesn't rot out in some type of way, or doesn't get transmitted to another human who can carry this 10 of Cups to its creative path, to this one. It needs to be brought forth. It needs to be brought over the bridge. It needs to be walked to a space of victory. That's what they need you to do. If you cannot handle that, then ask Spirit to give you the resources that you need, but there's something that is within you that you are just not willing to look at, especially with this Piscean energy here. It's like you lack, I heard, the internal resources. Okay, so if you lack the internal resources, then you need to rebuild them. Rebuild your emotions in some type of way. Whatever has chipped away at your emotions and caused you to feel like you don't have enough to carry something to its fullest, or you don't have the capacity to create something to its fullest. It could be a family, it could be a dynamic that's in the heart space. This is deeply troubling you, and you haven't actually given yourself the opportunity to hold it. You need to hold it. Let me get one more, the talisman. You've lost your grip on something. I feel that significantly. Navigation. Okay, that makes sense. So you've lost your ability to carry something. You've lost your ability to actually carry this to the victory. Okay, so you've lost your confidence in some type of way. And this might take you a while to navigate or to feel like you can carry this, or you can do this, or you can take the lead on this, because Spirit is letting you know you have it within you, but there is something within you that's telling you that you don't. And so this is like self-sabotage, which came out last week as well. So you might want to take a look at last week's reading, because self-sabotage was there too. So the collective is really struggling with how they're going to pull something off. And it's something that they want. So if this is you, what kind of solace can I offer you in terms of rebuilding your navigation skills? Really, you need to draw out a plan, especially with this temperance energy. You've done a lot of research, but have you set a plan? Have you put a plan in action? Have you taken stock of your emotions? Have you purged things that are not going to be helpful when you acquire this? I think that what's really happening is you haven't taken a look at what needs to go in order to prepare for this to come in. Okay, so not only do you have the resources, you haven't let go of something or an aspect of yourself that needs to create the space for something new to come in. Generally speaking, human beings do not like to purge. They like to hoard. And hoarding is one of the most detrimental energy stifling, how do I say this? Oh my gosh. Hoarding or having excessive consumption, or just not emptying out the vessel. I don't know how to explain that. So, okay, story time. Perfect example. So let's just say you want to buy something. There's something that you significantly need, and it's going to make a really big difference in your life. This could be something that's absolutely needed, like a vehicle, or you might need work shoes, and you have shoes, but you might need to get rid of a few old shoes that you've been wearing to introduce a new pair of shoes into your closet. Or you might need to trade in your old vehicle in order to upgrade to a newer vehicle. But it also requires you to be financially ready to do that. It might require you to clear out some debt in order to do that. It might require you to open up some of your finances to do that. But this is within the heart space. If you want to have a victory within the heart space, you have to look at your emotions, not from a space of I'm going to hide them and push them down, but I'm going to invite them in. I'm going to give myself an opportunity to welcome in new emotions. I can claim this for myself, and I can claim the victory over it because I know that Spirit has prepared me for this opportunity. So sometimes the approval of yourself having this thing comes from saying, I am ready for it to come in, despite my losses, despite the challenges I've had, let's just say, with keeping those old shoes or with keeping that vehicle. I've had some challenges, but Spirit is saying, when you want something new to come in, you have to get rid of the muck, because it's not going to come in if your heart space is full of old, past energy that needs to be released out of the old cycle with this 12th house and renewed into the new cycle of the one. Let's see if the Aquarian Tarot can offer us any additional medicine And if you've enjoyed the reading, please feel free to give your girl a like. That would be awesome. I'd greatly appreciate it. Ooh, that's important. Two of Wands. You see how he's holding that object within his hands? He has a vision of something. He has an idea that he's holding in his hands. He has his eyes set on something. There's a vision there. There's something that he is seeking. It's already within his auric field. He's welcoming it in. So the Two of Wands with the Six of Wands is saying that you already know which direction you want to go in. So let's find out how we are going to get there. Ooh-wee, the High Priestess, that confirms exactly what I just thought. So not only are you holding back these emotions, you actually think that you can make progress without traversing the terrain of the past or whatever you're holding in that's preventing you from taking the two cups that are still full and going on your journey, walking over that bridge, taking that step forward. You think you can just hide. Spirit is saying no, cannot do that, cannot hide. You can't stay reclusive. You can't stay in the background. You can't just hum as if someone's going to hear you. You're going to actually have to take it into your hands and walk towards it as if it's already yours. That is how you manifest. You don't manifest sitting in the background, thinking, hoping, dreaming, trying. You got to actually walk into the dealership. That's what I just heard. You got to actually walk into the shop. And I got this window shopping energy probably 2 weeks ago. Someone just sitting on something, sitting on something, sitting on something. And this is repetitive because Spirit is asking you to bring that project into fruition. Step into that portal. Step through the portal like it's already yours. Claim it, because if you don't, it's going to go to somebody else. They're going to move the energy to another vessel who's prepared to receive it. If you think that it's going to come towards you because you're sitting in the background, it'll never reach you. That's from experience. Hierophant. Wow. You better claim it now. It's ripe. The energy is ripe and waiting for you. The Hierophant with the Temperance is like Spirit saying, when are you going to get it? You've learned enough. Go ahead and give it to yourself and then take the necessary steps in order to claim the victory. Despite the challenges, despite how you feel that you might not have the resources or you might not be prepared emotionally, claim it. It's already yours. And if you don't step into this energy, you're going to lose it. That's just how it works. If something has been sitting on your heart and in your heart space for some time with the navigation in the Ten of Cups and you just haven't actually grabbed it, you're sitting on the background, you're sitting on the sidewalk looking through the window, wanting it, saying, ooh, I wish I coulda, wish I coulda. And Spirit is saying, come inside the store, come inside the shop. On top of that, release what needs to be released so that when you have it, there's space for you to park it. Wow. Interesting. There's space. There's space for you to put your feet in something. There's space for you to walk in those shoes. If you do not create the space for it, you'll never be put in that position. Wow. Okay. All right, collective. We got work to do. There's something that you need to get a move on, honey. Eight of Pentacles, can't say it enough. You need to put some work into something. You need to claim it. It's yours. You've done a lot of work already with the Ten of Cups. This is something that you significantly want. Spirit is asking, have you created the space within the heart? It's like, when are you going to allow Spirit to allow it to come into your life? When are you going to allow Spirit to show you? When are you going to show up for Spirit to give it to you? If you don't come inside and you're staying in the background, you'll never be in a position to receive. Preparation meets opportunity. That's very important. And if you have not prepared, get prepared. Let's find out. I'm going to ask Spirit about one more about the Five of Cups, because I have a feeling that something significant is holding us back. The collective needs to know. Let's draw this energy out right here. Let's shine some light on that. Let's shine some light on the Five of Cups. Ace of Pentacles, resources. Don't think you're going to have enough? Spirit is saying, try. This sadness comes from not having enough funds, resources, or the bandwidth, not having the bandwidth to bring something to life. I understand that. Ooh, that's story time. Story time. I've been here before, specifically when buying a vehicle, and when Spirit asked me to try, to actually go there and try, after doing all this work, and Spirit was like, I need you to show up and try so that I can actually bless you in the way that you need to be blessed. And when I did that, I got exactly what I was looking for the first time. I didn't have to keep going back. What I needed was there at that moment that I showed up. That's a story from personal experience. When you think that you're not ready, and Spirit says, have you created the space for it? Have you done your research? Have you prayed about it? Have you meditated about it? Have you taken it to His feet? Because if you haven't done that, the blessing is going to go somewhere else, and you're going to sit in the Five of Cups with the High Priestess, thinking that I could, I would, I wish, I hope, I pray. What action are you taking? Because sometimes the resources don't show up until you do. Let me say that again. The resources from Spirit will not show up until your soul is in that place to receive it. So that's a lot of medicine for today, for this week, for this 129 portal with this new moon in Aquarius. Honey, you better start moving your feet. Move your feet. Do not get stuck, because when you get back to this is Aries. After the 12th house is the first house. Aries rules action. Action. If you don't step, if you don't navigate, if you don't give it to yourself already, the approval to have it already, you'll never receive it. You'll miss it. And so that's the medicine for this week. You might want to go back a few weeks to listen to the messages before, because it makes a whole lot of sense. I'm going to read a page from the Awakening Soul book, which was gifted to me. And I was guided to read from this book today, mainly because of the portal energy, opening new portals, starting over, being back at the one, creating balance in our lives, having beauty in our lives, and being at a point where we can end one cycle and open another one. So I'm going to just choose a page randomly and see what Spirit has for us. Thank you, Spirit. All right. Wow. 40. Everything is a gift from God. The challenge is to understand what is happening to you. And on page 41, if we take responsibility and do something that gives us greater understanding, life becomes easier. Can't make it up. Thank you, Spirit. Those two pages alone. And this is the part of the book where they're talking about blessings. So, like I said, if this is something that you have already called in, or asked for, or taken to His feet, prayed about, meditated about, and you've gotten your answer, and Spirit is saying, you have enough. Now we need you to go get it. Cleanse the sacred space, make room for it to be received, and step into the power of it being handed to you. So I hope this has been helpful to you and it has given you insight into what's coming up this week. And hopefully you'll be able to take the right actions to step towards it. And at the very minimum, you'll be able to take a look at what you've not been able to bring out, the emotions that you've been stifling, and that's also work as well. So I hope you have enjoyed the message. If you have, just go ahead and hit the like, share, or subscribe button. That would be awesome. I appreciate you.